Hey guys, quick update. So after I did my initial startup, I let it run for about 20 minutes. I had it idling at about 2,000 RPMs. I was varying with the idle up and down. And then I shut her down, drained out the oil. I used cheap oil. It was actually Pennzoil, regular 10W30 multi-grade. It wasn't a synthetic. You don't want to use synthetic oil if you're trying to break in your rings. So I just drained it all out and replaced the oil filter. And I put in these Lucas engine break-in oil, SAE 30, high zinc. That's the important thing, guys, high zinc. No, I don't have a flat tappet cam, so you think, well, you don't really need high zinc, but you do. Your cylinder walls, your piston rings still need to be broken in, and it's pretty important to have the high zinc in there, and oil concentrate. So I'll probably run it with this Lucas oil for about 500 miles, and then I'll change it and do a regular oil change and probably go ahead and put in synthetic Mobil 1 maybe, or even Lucas 10W30 or 5W30, maybe 0W30 synthetic oil. Apparently 0W30 has a better viscosity with the 30 when it warms up than it does when it's cold, than it does with regular synthetic oil and with 10W30, I should say, not regular synthetic oil. 0W30 for some reason has a better viscosity at the 30 weight when the engine heats up as opposed to a 10W or 5W30 when it heats up. The 30 weight changes. It's actually a little bit thicker or a little bit thinner, I'm not sure, than, well, it's not consistent, is what I'm getting at. Anyways, that's one thing I learned from Mike from My Vintage Iron. That guy's got a lot of information, great insight on a lot of things, camshaft, cylinder heads, compression ratios, duration, what you need to know if you're going to select a camshaft, what you need to know if you're building a motor. I got various tips from him, watching his videos online, and from West Tech, Richard Hollander. He's got a lot of good stuff too, and he does all kinds of testing. He does tests on LS motors, LT motors, Fords, Chryslers, Buicks, Cadillacs, you name it, he does them. Last video I seen he was working on a 4.3 liter V8, which is a very rare motor. I guess they came in station wagons and Impala wagons and stuff like that. I heard of the 4.3 V6, but I've never actually seen a 4.3 liter V8, which is pretty interesting. I wouldn't bother building one because, I mean, there's so many options out there for the money and for the size of the motor it is. There are so many, like, for example, this motor itself. This is a beast, being a 416 now. I'm sure I'm going to enjoy years and years and years of fun, enjoy driving this thing around, cruising. What else did I do? Of course, I put the air filter back on in the pipe. I noticed I put a transmission cooler in, which is really important, especially with a higher stall converter, because the oil will tend to heat up. And I checked the transmission fluid level. Since I had the converter out and everything, obviously I poured a little fluid into the new converter when I put it in, but I didn't top it right up, because if you tip it, you're going to pour it all out all over you. So I just checked the dipstick. It's low. It needs about a liter. So I'm going to have to run down to the local auto parts store and grab a liter of synthetic transmission fluid and put it in. What else can I tell you guys about this? You know what? One thing I got to say, I did all this work myself. I didn't have any help from anybody as far as putting this engine together, selecting the parts, checking all the clearances and everything. Thank you, Eagle Performance Engines, for boring out and decking my block. Thank you to Tony at formerly known as Napa. He was a machine shop guy. I don't even know what his shop is called now, unfortunately. But you know what? He did my cylinder heads. He decked the heads. He gave them a valve job, cleaned them all up, and the car's running great. The only thing I didn't change on, everything in this motor is practically brand new, right down to the rocker arms aren't new, but they do have new trinions on them, because I replaced them with the BTR triniums. The valve train is all BTR. I got a BTR stage 2 cam, BTR 7.4 push rods, BTR double high lift valve springs. I think they're good for 650 lift. This BTR cam is 612 on the exhaust side. That's the highest lift point. I got a competition cams, double roller timing chain, Melling 10693, I believe, or 296, sorry, that's it, 296 high volume, high pressure oil pump in it. The headers are actually EB retrofit LS swap cheapy headers. They were 150 bucks. And again, Richard from West Tech was testing headers, and you know the cheapy headers perform just as well as the ones that are going for $1,000. What would you rather pay, 150 bucks for a set of headers or 1,000 bucks for a set of headers that virtually look exactly the same, they're the same dimensions and made out of the same material? So you'd be the judge of that. As performance stuff goes, of course I got to still hook up my battery, or actually it's not a battery cover, it's actually just a bracket that holds the front valves over here off the fender. I have no idea what I did with that nut. It's probably somewhere. Anyways, I thought I'd give you guys a quick update on it. Now that I got everything together, I changed the oil and she's ready to rock and roll. I'm just waiting for these guys. It looks like they're not coming today, so I guess I'm not driving it today. I'd like to put the hood on. I could drive it without the hood on, but that'd be kind of silly. If I got pulled over, I'd have to tell the officer that I think I left the hood 3 kilometers behind me. It had wings and flew away. Since it's Trans Am, it's got the big bird on it. I'm trying to be funny, huh? Anyways, that's all for now. Enjoy my videos. Please subscribe if you like, and I'll be probably making another one when I go for my first drive to see how she goes and have you guys share the experience with me. And as I was saying before, I touched everything in this motor, the transmission, the drive shaft, everything, the brakes, the suspension. I did every little single thing on this car. It took me 50 times longer than it would normally take a person because I'm kind of disabled. I got a really bad back. I got to do everything in moderation and really, really slow, unfortunately. But you know what? This is my love, doing this kind of stuff. And this is my girl. And you know what? These cars are like your wife. You got to just keep paying and dishing it out and be happy because they're going to make you happy. That's just the way it is. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Enjoy everything. Enjoy the weekend coming up, and take care of yourselves. Please subscribe if you like. Bye-bye.